Welcome to my wonderful journey where we study once and for all is Alias really the best show of all time, or, well, shall we say, will we do this by me rewatching the show and taking rigorous notes of each episode. I will then look back at the deep themes and be analyzing them. Themes like, who's hotter, Sydney or Anna? Why haven't we seen more hunky boys? Are they really going to make Daddy Warbucks seem this mean the whole time? And why haven't Sydney and Vaughn kissed yet? Let's jump into it. We start mid-mission with Sydney trying to get the core back, not the nuke, the core for some reason. It's really confusing. They don't really specify why it's a core and not a nuke now. But this, of course, starts with Sydney kicking one butt, adding a running total of butts kicked by Sydney Bristiow to 10. She kicks the butt so fast in the episode, it's like we don't even have time to really settle in, and she's already kicking butts. Before we know it, the bad guy from last episode holds a gun to her and says a bad fanny line saying, I'm gonna count to 1. What? 1? That gives her no time to react, but you guessed it, she kicks his butt, and that leaves a running total of butts kicked by Sydney Bristiow to 11. Oh my goodness, she has the core, and now she's on the run, trying to make her quick getaway. As Sydney's trying to escape, she kicks 3 butts at one time. 3 butts at one time? That's freaking insane! I can't believe it! 3 butts at one time? This brings a running total of butts kicked by Sydney Bristiow to 14. Can you freaking believe it? That's so many butts kicked by Sydney Bristiow, and we're not even 5 minutes into this episode. Sydney gets back and she starts to hang out with some of her friends, and they have a really, really fun time. Then she goes back into SD6, and she has to talk to them about everything and get briefed on a new mission. Before that, she does talk to her dad a little bit, and she tells him that she has a lot of questions for him and asks about her mom. It's really vague, and they don't really give us a whole lot of information about it, but it's clear to us that her mom died, and she really wants to know how that happened and what all went down. Then he goes to get briefs, and we learn a little bit more about the device that she stole in the first episode. It was created by a man named Rambaldi, who's freaking buck wild insane. He believes that through technology we might be able to communicate with God. This is a really, 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 really weird concept, unless you're talking to the creators of Assassin's Creed. Then it's, well, par for the course, I guess. Sydney and them, they talk about it, and everybody seems to act like it's crazy, but they also find out that he had been creating and working on things like binary and things like that way back in the ancient times. That name, Rambaldi, is a name that I'm pretty sure we need to remember for the rest of the show. I think it's super important due to the last time I watched it, but again, not super clear about all of the details from my first watch. On top of that, during our mission briefing, we also get a little bit about a girl who Sydney's gone up against named Anna Espinosa, and this girl is portrayed as such a cool kick butt that she may be able to give Sydney a run for her money. I doubt it. Sydney Bristiow is the coolest superstar of all time, not our hero. Sydney then does her dead drop thing and sets up a meeting with her handler from the CIA, Vaughn. And while she does this, the time that they're meeting this time is through a quick little jog sesh. She does a run, and oh boy, is Jennifer Gardner's stride in this freaking... She talks to Vaughn and tells him everything about what's going on, and Vaughn lets her know that he's no longer going to be the handler for her on the CIA, and she gets so sad because, man, she's going to miss that hunky bod. She tells him a little bit more about Anna Espinosa and about how she killed somebody just to know and just to show Sydney how powerful that she was. After this, Vaughn goes back to the CIA, and he gets made fun of for having the hots for Sydney by Parkman from the Heroes TV show. Before we know it, Sydney's now on the mission, and she's in her Black Widow cosplay. They really need to stop trying to freaking steal Scarlett Johansson's lunch, but they really do love putting Sydney in a red wig. Sydney sees that Anna's already there, and before we know it, it's a chase to the device information. Anna, of course, gets it first, as Sydney is running after her to catch up. And before you know it, after a lot of running, a lot of cool moves, she does catch up with Anna Espinosa, and they get into a fight. Of course, Sydney will kick her butt. I kick Sydney's butt. And it's the saddest I've ever been in my whole life. I've now changed how I'm looking for the rest of the show to show my grieving that my number one superstar hero of my heart, Sydney Bristiow, is not invincible. I don't know what to do. This is a really earth-shattering moment for me, and I'm still very shooken up about it. And after kicking Sydney's butt, she takes off and has all the plans in a secret bag. Sydney chases after her and takes Dixon's gun. She then shoots the bag strap that Anna has. The plans fall down, and Sydney and Dixon get them. They are able to successfully take them back to this SD6. Rocket Raccoon just won't quit looking into Danny's death. I really wonder what he's going to find out if he keeps searching into this. And on top of that, Sydney has to meet her new handler. And oh boy, oh how, this guy really sucks butt. He seems like the worst. I bet he friggin' takes a blender bottle just to stir up his own poop shake. Then has another hangout session with Rocket Raccoon and all of her friends. At the end of this, Rocket Raccoon and her flirt a little bit. And this is, again, I need to say Rocket Raccoon before he's put into the raccoon body. They flirt a little bit, and oh boy, oh how, at the 31 minute and 33 second mark, we get our another kiss in the show. And oh man, oh how, it's been so long since we've had a kiss in the show. But before you can say love triangle, The kiss is over, and everybody feels a little bit weird about it. SD6 makes a deal with Anna Espinosa's agency, and Sydney is going to have to walk out in front of a bunch of snipers, and so is Anna, and they're going to do essentially exchange information because I can't get the box open to figure out the information that they're trying to find about Rambaldi's secret notes about communicating with God or something. I still really don't have any idea what any of that's about. The new handler who sucks so much butt tells Sydney that he needs to put a tracker on Anna Espinosa, and she's like, there's gonna be 600,000 snipers there. How am I supposed to put that tracker on him? That's stupid and suicide. I can't do that. If you don't put Vaughn back on my case, I'm never gonna help you ever again. I'm gonna fight you and punch you a whole bunch. What do you think's going to happen? She's now on her way to have her secret meeting with Anna Espinosa, and she gets a phone call from her very best friend. Her best friend tells her that she thinks her boyfriend might be cheating on her, and this really doesn't seem like the most appropriate time that Sydney should be taking any calls from any of her friends, but for some reason she does, and she tells her to calm down. It's probably not that big of a deal. As Sydney's walking out to actually get into the meeting, into some sort of football stadium, I think, but she's actually going out to meet Anna Espinosa, we cut to her dad and the evil-looking weasel man talking about Sydney's mom, and he says something about Sydney's mom actually being alive and how he lied to Sydney about it. I can't believe that after all the progress we made with Sydney's daddy issues, we're still going to have much more to dig through, but oh boy, oh how. The hotness. Can you even blame him for putting that in there? On top of that, Sydney puts her earwig in to communicate with the CIA, and oh man, Vaughn's back, and I'm so glad that we still get to see his hunky face every day, and we get to see just how much closer can we get him and Sydney kissing this time. Anna finally gets there, and she walks out, and they have the key and the plans. They put the key in the plans, and it opens up, and we hear a very gross noise, and they both look shocked. What do you think they see? Well, I have no idea. We're gonna have to watch next time and find out.